What's going on, world? Demondre here again with another video. Today we have an app test between the A21 and the Moto G Stylus. Two very popular phones with Metro PCS. I'm gonna put my money on the Stylus. I have not conducted this test, so I don't know what to expect. I do know the A21 has a pretty good MediaTek P35 in it. I'm interested to see what that does, as well as this Power VR. We pretty much know that, my notes here, the Adreno 610 is a pretty good GPU, and we know that the Snapdragon 665 is a pretty good CPU. So, both of these phones are free right now if you switch. They got a promotion, no activation fee, so you can get these bad boys pretty cheap, either or under $100. In some cases, you may be able to get both for $100. But yeah, without further ado, we're gonna get into this. Just trying to steal some juice before this test. Immediately, and to my eye, the Samsung looks brighter. I have both of these on max brightness. The Samsung does have an outdoor brightness mode that everyone knows about that extends. I have that on. The Moto looks very good. It's a close call. I like the way the Moto looks better. I just like 1080p. I can definitely tell the difference. It's sharper. The Samsung looks a smidge cartoony to me. However, it's a great display nonetheless. It's 6.5 inches. This one is 6.4, but it's actually like 6.36 if you want to be technical about it. Both of them have a quad camera setup, with the top sensor being the main sensor, the sensor underneath being the wide angles. On the Moto, it has an action cam, so the wide angle is in horizontal mode, portrait mode, which is pretty nice. However, I do miss the standard wide angle lens. Both of the apertures are smaller on the wide angles. They're like 2.0 or 2.2, which means the quality is not as good as the main cameras. The third camera are macro lenses, and the fourth camera is a depth sensing camera for your portrait modes and just generally helping the pictures look better, helping make the pictures look better. So I'm going to clear out all apps here, and if there are any extremely close calls, don't worry, I will slow them down in post and replay them so we can see which phone actually performed better. Okay. Another note, 128 gigs on this bad boy. I believe there's 32. Some people get 64, some people get 32. This one, I believe, is a 32 gig model. Both of these are on Android 10. This is 128 gigs. I love that. I have mad apps and games. This is pretty much party phone. All right, let's get into this. Go to my page. I have a page with all the same apps, and some of them are not logged in, but we're really trying to see which phone will get you in the app faster. So, gonna hit phone. Definitely the Samsung. As you can see, there's like very few contacts. It's my son's phone, and I have several contacts. I don't want to make any excuses. Samsung won. Got messages. Samsung again. I'm not even gonna make the same excuse. He has quite a few messages here. Oh wow, he has a lot of messages. Anyway, I have to blur out some of those numbers in post. Chrome. All right, we had them load up two random pages that were just already on the Chrome browsers, and the Moto won, even though The Samsung has a more graphically intensive page. As you can see, this is the Forgot Apple page, trying to get into that iPhone, thank God we did. So, next we're gonna go into Gmail. That's definitely one of those. I'll have to slow down. You guys tell me in the comments which phone went to the Gmail faster. Next we have Calendar. I think I had a miss on the Samsung. Gonna swipe that away. And let's try that again. Pretty big phones. 1, 2, 3, go. Wow. So the Samsung destroyed the Moto in that test. Look at Samsung. I'm impressed so far. Calculator, about the same. If I had to say, I would give slight edge to the Samsung. Cameras, man, that was man, I don't know who won that, but let's take a picture real quick just to see. So that was pretty quick. I'm waiting on the photo to pop up. As you can see, it's a slight delay. I'm gonna take the same picture with the Moto. We're gonna go into it. Okay, so we wanna see the quality. We wanna see the words. Let's go to the words. On the truck, random, whatever. We're gonna go, let's see which phone. Oh, wow. So, even though I've used both these phones, I've taken pictures with both these phones, but right here in this video test, I just took a random picture, and as you can see, it looks crystal clear on the Samsung, and I can still read it on the Moto, but it's slightly faded. It's definitely clear, but I mean, you guys are seeing this, you can't really even tell that's a zoomed in photo on the Samsung. That's nice. All right. So we're gonna go back home on both phones. Come on, Moto. All right, where were we? We're going to get into the clock. All right, I think the Moto finally won that one. But it was close, we shall see. Gonna get into Play Store. This is a big one. Wow. And both of these are on the Metro PCS network. Neither one of them are on Wi-Fi. I will go into the settings to show you. Matter of fact, I can just pull it down. You guys can see right there. No Wi-Fi on. It's LTE 4G on both phones. And they were close, but the Samsung won. Again, I know people are gonna say I'm making excuses. I should have ran this test with a newer Moto. We have a brand new Moto. But I wanted it to be, I thought it would be fair to use two phones that were used already. I do more with mine than my son does with his. However, I mean, I'm impressed with the Samsung. Like, I played around with it when we first got it. But since then, I gave it to my son, and he's been using this. I've been using the Moto. Neither one of us has had complaints, and there are not a lot of videos on these two phones competing. TikTok, Samsung. Let's get into Google. Everyone uses Google. Even if you have an iPhone, you use Google. Samsung. Keep in mind, these are close. We're talking about literally milliseconds. But a win is a win. YouTube. All right. I mean, yes. There we go. Moto. I love YouTube. I use it all the time. Oh, yeah. By the way, like and subscribe while you're right here. Appreciate that. Get into Google Maps. Moto. As you can tell, I have a clear bias towards the Moto. I love Samsung, but I just prefer the Moto. Snapchat. Ooh, I'm gonna have to see and post. I have no idea. To the naked eye, they looked almost identical for me, anyway. All right. Google Play Games. Samsung. It was very close. Both of them took a second to load that. Not surprised. Settings. Definitely Samsung. All right, guys. So far, Samsung is definitely taking the cake here. We're going to do a RAM test. We're going to open back up all of these apps and see which ones hold and see which ones reload. We're gonna start by going back into phone. Both of them look like they reloaded it. The Moto was faster getting back into it. Let's get into messages. Both of them reloaded. Moto was faster getting back into it. The Moto does have an extra gig of RAM. Over the Samsung. I have to pick my microphone up. So it looks like that's helping out, even though it's not holding the app either. All right, let's get into Chrome. It did hold Chrome. It looked like both of them held Chrome. If there was a reload on the Samsung, it was so quick that you couldn't discern it being a reload, or I'll slow it down. We're gonna go into Gmail. 1, 2, 3. Went right to it on the Samsung. However, it's not logged in. My son has no reason to use Gmail. And mine is, and has mad emails in it, like over 10,000. But both did hold it. The Samsung brought it up faster. All right, we're gonna get into calendar. Both went right to it, both held it, both very quick. Everyday phone tasks seem to like fly by on these phones without issue. Both look like they reloaded, but both were very, very quick. Camera. Samsung held it, Moto reloaded, both brought up very quickly. Clock. It looks like a reload on both. It looked like the Samsung brought it up faster. Again, you guys tell me in the comments below. Play Store. Wow, Moto held it. Samsung clear reload. And let's get back. So we're gonna go back to TikTok. Okay. Both brought it up very quick. The Samsung was a smoother transition. The TikTok pop, I believe I have animations off. I should have checked that. Ooh. Google. Both held, both nice. Both of these phones are good phones, guys. They're not You're not taking an L either phone you get. It's really preference on which of these features, which phones do which features better that matter to you is really what it comes down to. YouTube, both reload, both very quick. Autoplay on the video came on immediately, very nice. We're almost done here. Google Maps, very important. Both reloads. Moto came up first. Samsung was very close behind. Snapchat, not as important, but beloved as well. Clearly the Moto won. We have the Play Store, probably like the second most important app outside of the phone. Very quickly on both, the Moto slight edge. So there's really, I'm looking at a trade-off. I'm looking at apps opening faster on the Samsung, but apps keeping their memory on the Moto. So there's where preference takes off again. Do you prefer a faster startup, or do you prefer being held in the memory longer? It just depends. There are phones out there that will hold memory for days. You can literally leave an app for days and come back to it in that exact same spot. I don't know if either one of these would do that. Probably depending on how much you had going on. But anyway, we're going to get into settings, the last app. And you guys tell me. Well, all right, guys. 19 apps. I believe Samsung definitely won most of those app opening contests. Moto made up a little ground with the RAM management. Both, again, great phones. You can't go wrong with either or. We're gonna do a camera test and we're gonna do a gaming test. All these videos will drop at the same time. They'll all be linked to each other below. Love, joy, peace. Get to that money. Stay safe.